Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Ward, Silver Level Pro, hailing from Catskill, New York. Most of you know me as a Grand Prix grinder / streamer and content producer. I'm coming up with a series. This is going to be the first edition of a series that I'm calling the Constructed Accumulated Knowledge. Basically, I've had a bunch of people between Grand Prix interactions as well as people interacting in the Twitch streams, and they've kind of asked me, Dan, how do you come up with certain decks, and what leads you to be able to play these certain decks, which are a little abnormal from what everyone else is doing usually. And so what I want to do with this series is it's going to be a 3-part series for this specific tournament, which is Grand Prix Denver, and it's standard. And I'm going to walk you through the process of choosing a deck, tuning the deck, fixing the last couple cards in your 75, which usually doesn't happen until like the weekend of the tournament sometimes, and giving a little bit of insight on how I come up with some of the ideas and my processes for choosing certain cards over other cards. With that, hopefully people will be able to take a lot of information from that and use that in their own game. And at the end of this series, hopefully we will have gotten the deck choice right. So that's pretty much going to be it. If y'all stay tuned, every Monday, kerwinsgamestore.com will be posting up the next video in the series. This is going to be Volume 1, so good luck and have fun. Hi everybody, I'm Dan Ward. Most of you know me from Kerwin's Game Store. I'm a Silver Level Pro, hailing here from Catskill, New York. And today, we're going to be starting a series of videos, which I'd like to do weekly, basically going over the deck that I'm testing for an upcoming tournament. And this happens to be standard. And this is a black-green Delirium deck and a Marvel deck that I just kind of like combined to put to one. As you can see, is my really clever wordplay on Marvelously Delirium. So I'm going to be going over the deck, then we're going to get into a league. I'm going to go through the entire league, and I'll try to get as detailed as possible. With what I'm doing, we're not going to have music. This is going to be strictly for those of you that are interested in the content perspective. Most people that know me that I do things a little outside the box. So if you're looking for a specific black-green Delirium deck list and kind of like plus and minus sideboards, you're not going to get that this time from me. I'm going to be playing something that is different than what everybody else is doing. And I'll get right into the deck. So here we go. I have pulled up over here. We have 21 lands, utilizing the fact that I'm playing 4 Attune with Aether and 4 Traverse. So we have, 8 essential 1-drop land fetchers. And Traverse, utilizes, once we have Delirium later on in the game, you're going to be able to get your big threats, which is what you want to produce with Aetherworks Marvel. The cool thing about Attune is it produces energy. So one of the things with me playing Marvel decks from the Pro Tour and then working on another Marvel deck for Providence, which I ended up not playing, you need to make sure you have enough energy producers to be able to play Aetherworks Marvel. And here, Attune with Aether is just the perfect card. On one, we want to be just getting the land, making sure we don't miss land drops while incrementally adding up to our energy count. The next 1-drop is Vessel. I'll kind of highlight it here for you. It's one of the key cards of the deck. It's a very good Delirium activator, as well as a lot of times what's going to happen is you're not necessarily going to have the perfect hand with Marvel in your hand. And you're going to be able to set up a turn where, whether it's turn 1 you drop it down or somewhere between turn 3 and 4, you get it down at the end of the turn. You can utilize this to try to get to your Aetherworks Marvel or your 4th land and kind of go off. The cool thing I like about this, besides the Delirium like I spoke of earlier, is that like with people playing Transgress the Mind, if you just do this at the end of the turn, they can't transgress this and you're getting it and then you're going off. So pretty self-explanatory. Gets any permanent, which is cool. This deck plays a ton of permanents. The only instants and sorceries that we play are the other mana fixers. So it's going to hit a lot of targets in your deck. If you whiff on Vessel, it's bad news bears. Going to the 2-drops, we have a mana producer and energy producer, the Servative Conduit. Very good card in this deck. It allows you to get out an Aetherworks Marvel on turn 3 before the blue-white decks can have Spell Queller up for game 1, which is pretty critical. It's one of the hardest matchups, as you'll see as the dedicated sideboard slots I have for that deck. And then the other 2 drops are artifacts producers that also give us energy and have other abilities. So Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot, 3 energies a lot for 2 minutes, great. You sack it on the way out, you're getting 3 more, and you're getting 6 life total, which is huge with a lot of these aggressive vehicle decks. You actually need to get as high life total as you can to allow enough time to go off. Glass Blower's Puzzle Knot, a little less energy, definitely a lot less life. You're not getting any. And the Scry 2, though, is huge. You want to be able to set the top of your library to either hit the Marvel or to set it up during your upkeep to make sure that you don't draw the Emrakul, the Ulemogs. You don't want to do that. It gets pretty clunky, especially like in your opening hands. You'll see with this deck, there's some times where you're just like, the hand's perfect, but you have 3 Eldrazi, so you have to mull. And this kind of like makes sure or helps you to basically not allow that to happen, to where like, hey, okay, I kept a hand with an Emrakul, but now like without this card, maybe you're going to draw like, you'll have a higher percentage to draw like 2 or 3 more of them. And at that rate, 1, you're not casting them until later on in the game, and then your Marvel hits are weak. 4 Marvel, cut and clean. Card's great. I love it. It's been positioned poorly after the Pro Tour, and I've just been trying to make it work. And I think for GP Denver, which is kind of my testing grounds right now, I think it's something that it's a little underrated, but it's starting to come back on Moto, so we're gonna give it a run. Creature base, our big hits. We spoke about blue-white. It's super powerful. I want some cards for that matchup main deck. So we have Ishkana Graph Widow, 2 of. My favorite, Demon of the Dark Schemes. Now let me go off about this for a little bit. 5/5 for 6 flyer. Okay, we're in there. Massacre when it comes into play. Pretty good. You know, a lot of the fast decks, it's going to kill a lot of creatures. And now you're going to give me an energy for every creature that dies. Now that's a pretty big deal. But let's go into the bottom line here. 2 and a black, pay 4 energy, put target creature from a graveyard into battlefield under your control tapped. This is awesome. So forget the fact that like we play Vessels and we could just Vessel one of our big guys into the graveyard randomly. The number 1 deck in Standard right now is Black-Green Delirium, and they're putting their big guys in the graveyard as fast as possible too. So this guy's going to allow us to basically say, if he survives, he is going to just take the game by himself, in addition to the fact that it's a great energy, an energy dump for when Marvel, you don't have it, or they counter it, or they transgress it. Like, you know, putting this on a clean board, it's just like, oh my god, yeah, you got my Marvel, but now if you don't kill this in a turn or 2, you're going to lose. So I love this card. Been testing it here for a couple days, and it's been pretty good. Not insane, but pretty good. And I'm looking forward to jamming some more games with it. 1 Noxious Gearhulk, because why not? It's just, whenever you're playing Traverse the Uvenwald, having these silver bullet targets are really good. And there's times where, like, you just need to gain a little bit of life, and, you know, here's the guy for that. And 5/4 Menace is not bad either, so... 2 Ulemogs and 4 Emrakuls. We wanted to trim a little bit, and I say we, I have one of my friends is working on the deck with me as well. Wanted to trim the top of the curve to be able to play these 5-6 drops that you could see between the Demon, Noxious, and Ishkana. It just gives the deck a little bit more legs. It allows it to play a little bit more without having Aetherworks Marvel be like the main focus. Because I felt like a lot of times when I was just dedicated to the Marvel and making sure the Marvel resolved and all this, you would actually get to a point where if that didn't happen, you're just flat losing. Where with this deck, you're going to be able to actually survive long enough to maybe the second Marvel will be great. Or you don't necessarily have to hit an Eldrazi with the first Marvel. It allows you to now be able to hit like 5 more creatures that you could play in a normal game of Magic. As well as like, you know, the Puzzle Knots are almost like rebuying sometimes with the Marvel. So the concept, I think, is we're going to be a little less explosive as far as like always hitting the big guy the first time, but the consistency, which, you know, this deck has had a problem with, is going to be trimmed down a lot. All right, let's move to the sideboard. We have 3 Ceremonious Rejections, 3 Natural States, 4 Plummets. Yeah, I said 4. 3 Flailing Tendrils, and 2 Painful Truths. So this is not traditional to the sideboarding plans that I usually like to do of having bullets and having like one of this, one of that. Like, I guess that's more for modern. I want to hit specific things with this sideboard because our game plan is pretty straightforward. The mana with this deck is insane, as you can see by having like Traverse, Attune, Vessel, Servant, Aether Hub, Evolving Wilds. We can pretty much play one land of each color if we wanted to, and pretty much get away with it. So that's why you can see Ceremony's Rejection. Tested originally, Transgress the Mind. Wasn't a big fan of it. You know, it was like clunky in the mirrors because if they didn't have the Marvel and then they drew the Marvel, you know, it's not really great. And I wanted a card that I could not only counter Marvel for the mirror, but counter Transgress. It can counter Spell Shrivel. It does, you know, a whole bunch of things. So for 1 blue, I think this is the card that I definitely want in my sideboard for like the Transgress the Mind, the Marvel matchups. And it also hits, even though I'm not bringing it in versus most of the vehicle decks. It does hit, you know, the big one, the Copter. Natural State. This is a card that I really love versus blue-white. They have 4 Stasis Snares and 4 Copters. Pretty much I've realized that like the way to beat blue-white is to make the game go long, because they're going to, if you just run them in, you know, the Marvels into Spell Quellers, it's usually not going to work out too well for you. But if the game goes long and you allow them to not be able to tap out for like cards like Gideon, you'll be in good shape. Because you're just going to keep playing lands, and eventually you might get to the point where you can actually hardcast this, and they have a hard time with that. The next card, Plummet. So I lost to blue-white yesterday, and like I said previously, I don't think it's a great matchup because, you know, Marvel just doesn't line up that well against Spell Queller. And then after sideboard, they have a bunch of things to deal with that as well. So I want to just play 4 plummets. I'm not going to mess around. We're going to trim some things. I'll kind of talk about it and what my concepts are behind that. And this card kills almost all the creatures that matter in their deck. It kills Avacyn, kills Spell Queller. It even kills Selfless Spirit, even though it's not really great versus Selfless Spirit. But it's fine. And instant speed is crucial. We want to be doing things on their turn so that they have to pick and choose to letting it resolve or to tapping out, allowing us to resolve this card right here. So we're doing a little Diet Pepsi break here. Flailing Tendrils. Didn't really come on the scene much when it came out, and has been kind of an MVP of sorts in the black-red zombie matchups, as well as really good in the white-red vehicles, the spew decks, the ones that are playing more or less the Bushwhacker, putting 2 artifacts into play, that it's better versus them. And this just allows you so much time versus the black-red zombie decks, which isn't a bad matchup, but it can be pretty frustrating when you have like a good setup hand, like, you know, turn 2 Puzzle Knot, Woodweavers, turn 3 sack it, get 6 energy, then play Marvel, and like turn 3, like they just foil your plan by transgressing you. Like this just allows you to live a lot longer in the game. And the more turns you have, the better chance of getting the second Marvel or getting to a point where you can resolve one of these big hits. And lastly, the 2 Painful Truths. If there is a control deck, I like this card versus Green-Black Delirium as well, just fueling up on cards. Just pretty powerful 3 for 3. And against Delirium, your life total, you know, besides their really fast Grimflare draw, you're not really too worried about like dying before you can cast your spells. And it just makes like their transgresses worse because now, you know, they're going to have to take your Marvel sometimes and you can refuel up. So, you know, right after they, you know, tap out turn 2, you can go turn 3. So I like this card. Haven't tested it at all. It's going to be the first league with it, and I'm pretty excited. So with that being said, you have the list now. Let's get in there. You're going to have... Unfortunately, like for those of you that watch my stream, we have music. For this video, we're not going to do the music, so I can hopefully talk through a lot of my plays. Whew. And I am pretty excited about this deck. I want to play something that's a lot of fun in Denver, and I feel like Marvel can definitely make the return. Hopefully, a lot of people are going to be keyed into the main 3 decks, the vehicle decks, the black-green Deliriums, and the white-blue. And I just feel like standard right now is at a rock, scissors, paper kind of format. You know, any deck can win on any given day. And there's just a ton of other decks that are messing around, like skimming the surface as to being one of those good decks. Whether it's the red-green energy deck, you know, the black-red zombies. There's a ton of decks in standard right now, which makes it pretty fun. But we're gonna try this deck, and hopefully I can figure out the blue-white matchup, because I think I have a good matchup versus everything else. And here we go. All right, we lost a die roll. Boo-hoo. I love when they just say you lost the die roll. It's just like, oh, well, you rolled a 4, they rolled a 5. Okay. I wish they did like a coin flip. That would be pretty sweet. Just see the coin. Next level, some people. I guess I could put this out there too. If there's any interest on the deck, I'll scroll this over a little bit more so you can see everything. Let's do this. There we go. You can definitely hit me up on social media, Facebook or Twitter, BigWard28. I'm always at the store, and I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So here we go. We're definitely going to keep this hand. We've got some energy activators, we got some mana acceleration, and we've got lands. So we're pretty happy about this hand. But yeah, you can definitely hit me up on social media if you're interested in this deck. This video will hopefully come out sometime next week. All right, so we're gonna do this. We want to grab a swamp since we have another forest. Yeah, because we don't need to get the blue. We don't have a puzzle knot yet, and we have the traverse to get the blue. We want to make sure we get the black sources for demon. Triple black is sometimes a task. And as I found out in my first league with this deck, playing 2 swamps is not conducive to being able to get this guy with all the fetch and stuff that you have. So we're playing against vehicles. I don't think it's a terrible matchup. This is the first time actually playing against it. All right, let's not do that. Let's get out the servant. Let's get some energy. We don't have any kind of like vessel here or puzzle knot to be able to search the top. So I just want to put us in a position so that we can play if we draw the Marvel on 4 and have the energy. All right, well, he died. Activate. Uh-oh, that ain't good. 5, this isn't terrible. So we have enough lands. I'm going to play the next Servant, and then I'm going to Evolving Wilds next turn. This will telltale sign here if he discards a land. Smuggler's Copter is really annoying for this deck. Oh, there's a land, okay. Yep. Marvel. Nope. Tried so hard. Well, I think I'm probably, I don't know, I think I might die before I can resolve the demon here. We needed to draw a puzzle knot or something here. And like I said, this, like, imagine if this was like another Ulamog, getting into the earlier statement when I was going over the deck. Like, this is actually a playable card, and we're going to take 5. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not worried about grabbing an island here. I'm going to fetch and get on our swamp so we can eventually play this. Venter's Apprentice. Woof, his hand's got to be good. Yeah. Alright, well, maybe we can one-time peel Declaration in Stone, maybe? He's discarding this, or a Harness. You could have one of those two. Makes sense to me. Oh, okay. Well, let's do this. Let's get a swamp. Because, like, look at this board here. It would be okay, I guess, filling Tendrils. Wouldn't be... We're going to bring it in, but it wouldn't be great. Yeah, sorry I'm kind of skipping around. But, yeah, so if this was an Ulamog, we'd have, like, no chance of ever casting this. One time. Oh, there we go. Of course. Tune, Servant. We have to play it. We don't have a choice. It could be worse, I guess. Let's use one of our energies. Sorry, Graph Widow. I know you wanted to come into play and do your thing. Well, this will be real good if we survive. I'm not sure how many removal spells the vehicle decks tend to play, but Declaration is their one of choice, and I think that's Exacties. 5, crew, 3, 6, 8. Yeah, I'll make them go through it, but I'm going to lose this first game. Yeah, another harness. Yeah, it's a shame. Our hand here was pretty lackluster. We didn't have any of the artifacts or the vessel, and we would have been able to, like, the hand was fine, but we didn't draw any of the essential pieces. All right, so we saw smugglers' copters. We're assuming that it's most of the traditional vehicle builds here. I love how the flailing tendrils, flails over here. Oh, that's a shame. As you can see in the rundown, Moto is perfect program and has put a negate in my sideboard, even though we're supposed to have 2 painful truths. It's quite interesting. So we could expect, I think, Transgress the Mind. I'm not entirely sure here. I'm trying to think of things besides Smuggler's Copter. It just doesn't seem worth bringing Ceremonious Rejection in to hit, like, maybe Smuggler's Copter and, like, Scrap Heap Scrounger. That's not really, like, what I want to be doing. I almost don't even want to bring the Flailing Tendrils in on the play. I think we could be doing better things, so I think I'm just going to leave it. There's not really another card. I could see maybe a Natural State for 1 Puzzle Knot, I guess. It adds an instant, helps out with Delirium. It's just 1, but it's something that could be utilized, so let's do that. We're going to do the one of. We'll probably draw it. No. All right, we like this hand. Yet again, a lot of setup here. We have the right amount of lands. We got 4. We technically have 5 with the Attune. We're going to be able to go turn 1, Attune, turn 2, Puzzle Knot, turn 3, Vessel Sack, and hopefully set up for the turn 4 Marvel. It's also a hand that's not affected by Transgress. So that's also good. It's one of the few interaction points that my opponent has in their deck. At least I think they do. I would be surprised if they didn't. All right, so we already have a green. Let's get another green here because we do have the vessel. And we want to make sure we can on turn 4 do that. The next fetch will definitely start getting the swamps though. Inventor's Apprentice. Ooh, good. The slow start. That's fine. Yep. So this will work out nicely. Next turn we can Aether Hub, get the 6 energy, play the Vessel, sack Vessel at the end of turn, and hopefully hit a Marvel. That'd be sweet. Transgress 1 time. No. I've been impressed by Scrap Heap Scrounger. I really like this card. Alright. Alright. We're up to 6. Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot is just like one of those cards that when you read it, you're just like, it's kind of something we want to do. Like when the set first came out, like how valuable is energy going to be? In this deck, it's just so sick. The fact that this card itself just allows you to have the right amount of energy, like ties in so nicely with the Marvel. It's just awesome. And I think, just speaking from a matchup perspective, this should be a very good matchup for me. As you can see, I didn't really change too much from game 1 to game 2. And I would assume that my opponent's probably bringing in like Gideons. I don't know. This hand doesn't look, it looks lackluster for him. Yeah, sure. Alright, Marvel, let's do our thing. Marvelous. We're just going to get another Vessel here because we want to just do it again. Just want to dig until we get to it. Dig. Let's get our graveyard over here so I can take a look at it. That's good for Ishkana. I'm going to play the Vessel. Let's do all kinds of stuff here. I guess we might as well do that, because Evolving Wilds we could save if we do draw the Marvel. It does have some value later on. Servant, let's get some more energy. We're not in like any threat of dying soon, so that's good. Yeah, this is an upkeep effect where I guess we'll just draw, but then we can just pay for the Vessel and next turn main phase it and try to hit the Marvel since we have the island to be able to play it. Alright, what do we got going on here? You've got lots of mana. Lots of mana. Alright. Yeah. Uh-oh. Time to crew up. The old inspiring advantage. Yeah, this is going to hurt. We're going to take a beating here. Yeah, that's another thing, too, with Flailing Tendrils for this. It's just like, it doesn't hit Depala. A small thing, but still a thing. Yep. Ow. Alright, deck. We need to do our thing now. Couple big draws here. That one, not as big. Yeah, so let's spin the wheel again. There we go. All right, dealer. Marvelous. No, I won't give in. I won't give in till I'm victorious. All right, give me something good. Emrakul Demon. We got some choices. All right, so I think it's pretty easy here. If Demon could kill both their creatures, I would consider it, but it's just not close. So yeah, we will cast it, surprisingly. Hopefully my opponent has some removal spells and we can pick his creatures off. This is usually when the concession occurs. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're in the upkeep phase. Let's lower this hand. It's kind of... Could transgress any player. That's sweet. Yeah, we'll do that. Concealed Courtyard. No, that's okay. Let's use your energy, brother man. Hello. And we will do that to transgress himself. We'll take the flagship. Alright, then we're going to tap this for black, red. Yeah, why not? Boom. And then we will attack. Hiya. This is what you could call it a blowout. It's pretty. This is a pretty good Emrakul. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, you can have a 3/1 guy and that. That's fine. My Emrakul is sitting pretty. Yeah, the unlicensed disintegration makes me almost want to take out the servants, but I don't know if I can afford to. It'll dead some of these, and we see the transgresses now, so the next game I'm going to bring in the ceremonious rejections, because now we have enough targets. I wanted to make sure. I was pretty sure, but I wanted to make sure. Yeah, we're going to Marvel off again next turn. Alright, let's do that. Little sports center here. Yeah. Yes, I would love to. And then let's Jam Fest. Just in case we hit another Emrakul, we want to get our 13 damage in. At this point, I shuffled everything back up. So I'm just going to gain some life. We don't need to get cute with the glass blowers here to try to set our library. Because even if we whiff on the Marvel, it's not that big a deal. I just want to put it so far at a range that it's impossible to lose. And I think that's pretty much what it does. And this is perfect example. I could go get a creature here, but I'd rather just get another Puzzle Knot and gain more life and make it tough for my opponent to try to kill me. Now I'm back at 20. Like, what is going on? What are we doing? What are we doing? Scrap. Okay, Scrap Heap's back. Back again. Scrap Heap, Scavenger. Yeah, I think I just have to keep serving in. I don't really love the fact that... Yep, sure. I don't love the fact that Unlicensed Disintegration just really blows me out. But I don't think I have a choice. I think I have to play it. It accelerates me into an early Ishkana as well if that's something that I need to do. Versus this deck, Ishkana seems great, so... Yep, you're crewing. That's fine. I will block. I will block. See this? I don't know what my opponent has in their hand. Time will tell, I guess. But maybe Stasis Snare. Maybe that's the line that they're playing to here. Could see it. I would usually play the Evolving Wilds, but because I know that I didn't hit a creature in the last couple draws, or the last 6, I'm just going to do this because I think I can set my library a little bit better. Do this again. I got the Sports Center on my mind. It's Saturday. We got football tomorrow. Redskins had a week off. I'm a huge Redskin fan. So, blow my nose. Yeah, he's got to be drawn to Stasis Snare, I think, here. And it'll be hilarious if, like, the Stasis Snare actually, if he actually hits the Stasis Snare. If not, I think, sure. Sure. Should have marveled in response. All right. So, yeah, I think we've seen enough to bring the Ceremonious Rejections in, which means... What did I bring in? Natural State. Natural State's actually not bad either. Because if I cut all of their ways to just, like, actually utilize the vehicles, I don't think I have to worry about... All right, let's see what our deck looks like with all the natural states. Interesting. So we have 5 cards that cut. I think we like the Ceremonious Rejection. We want to be able to keep that up versus the Transgress decks. But this is a catch-22 here. Because when we're on the play, it seems great. But when we're on the draw, they can just Transgress on 2. And if we traversed on 1, or Attune with Aether, or, you know, just didn't... There's only, like, 5 sources that will play on 1, so we usually won't. This have to be, like, later on. And I just don't think it's worth it. But I do think, with them being on the play, I think Natural State's worth it. So we have to cut a couple things. Let's cut the Gear Hulk. I think it's a little slow. Not really great for this match. And we cut 1 Glassblower's Puzzle Knot, so we're going to trim a Traverse the Uvenwald, I believe. Because I think the Natural State, the energy is just too important. All right, here we go. Yeah, this hand looks great. We've got Energy Producers, we got some early interaction, and we have Traverse the Uvenwald. for turn 1 to be able to go get another land, go get our... Well, we have islands, but we didn't bring them in any blue cards, so we could just not worry about that. All right, good. No turn 1 play leads to us being in good position. All right, we're going to do this. We'll go get a forest. We have no green. Yep. Yeah, next turn would be great if there's a smuggler's copter, then we can easily just play vessel. Okay, this one's fine too. Now is the tricky part. I can play vessel and natural state. I think that's where I want to be. Because if I play servant and they disintegrate me, where does that leave me? It's not the worst possible position either. Because then, yeah, let's do this. If we servant and get disintegrated, that's okay. Because then we take 6, but then next turn I can play vessel, keep that up, and if they get cute, I can natural state them. So it's not the worst possible position. Yeah, I would attack first too. I'm definitely not going to block. And then maybe Cultivator's Caravan? No? Okay. Sure. Here we go. Yeah, I'm definitely going to utilize both, so I'm definitely going to natural state one. This will keep a good blocker here. Alright, boom. Get out of here. Well, yeah, because I can just play Ishkana next turn, so that's what I want to do. We're not blocking. Hopefully we don't... Nothing crazy happens here. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so we have a lot of card types already. Let's get the Marvel. I think that's what we want. Now we have 4. It's going to work out nicely. We have 5. Alright, so... I can play Marvel and hit Copter here. Or I could just play Graph Widow and just stop my opponent from doing anything. So I think that's definitely the play. And next turn, setting up Marvel with Vessel or Marvel with Natural State seems pretty good. Because, yeah, if the Marvel's out and I get, like, there's no good attacks here. Regardless of what my opponent's doing, like, yeah, they have Declaration, they get rid of this, or if they have a removal spell, they can kill Ishkana, like, that's fine. But then, like, I could still just triple team up and kill the Copter. There's no graveyard yet for the Scrap Heap Scounger. Yep, that's fine. Don't care. You can suit up the Smuggler's Copter, and I'm coming to block for sure. Yeah, and this is fine. You can pay the 1, search. We just need to buy a little bit of time. Buy a little bit of time. All right, no cards revealed. We're going to definitely snap block off the Copter. This is looking really good for us. Okay. Must probably have some cards they just need to get rid of, and they need to find a way to deal with this. So both things I am fine with. Goodbye, Archangel Avacyn. That says something. All right, there's 4, 4, yep. Wow, didn't even switch. Okay. Yeah, we're not doing nothing. We are sitting here and chilling. Archangel Avacyn's something that definitely should be on the radar whenever you're playing any of these vehicle decks. It's not as popular in the Mardu as it is the red-white. Usually you know that they're packing them, but it's been pretty good here too. Sure. Yeah, it's fine. Excuse me. I am ready to block. They're not. Alright, there's good. Let's give me some energy. Let's get the island. Let's play the island. Vessel. Yeah, we're definitely going to do the vessel now because I could just pick up a puzzle knot and go off from here. Hopefully that's what's going to happen. Or I could pick up another vessel. Not the worst either. Yeah. Pass turn. No need to do anything. We're still in chill mode here. 6 cards Delirium, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can actually hard cast Emrakul if we draw it. Draw a card, sure. I am fine with that. Yeah, we're definitely going to utilize the Servant here to activate the Vessel. The energy payoff will be the same. We'll trade 1 for 1 and dig 4 cards deeper. Yep. Oh, okay. We're feeling frisky. Okay. We're definitely loading up here on Depala. The team will block Depala, for sure. Okay. Come here, Depala. Ah, I see. Well, let's kill that. Let's get that out of here. Get that out of here. You don't want to take any damage? That's not fair. Sure, kill my Servant. We'll trade. Servant down, energy, trade off for the natural state. Took 0 damage, and once we untap here, the game should be ours. There we are. Alright. We don't even need to do anything. Yep. Play that. Bang. Yeah, the promised end has arrived. Okay. You've got it. Sure. And because it's probably correct here, let's sack the vessel now. We'll get the puzzle. And we'll puzzle. As you can see, I have my stop on the upkeep too for this card. And we don't need any of these, so we can just bottom. Yeah, we're not in any danger here. Yeah, I could have got a point in, but we're not here for any of that shenanigans. Has it on my upkeep again. Let's shrink this, and we will hit OK. Let's play Gideon. Sure. Yeah, I'll emblem, sure. Yep. I don't know if it's right to even emblem there, but I guess it's just probably just not. It's probably correct to just not play it. I just was like, whatever, I'm going to play it. Who cares? Because now he has 2 creatures coming out. I still feel like we have this game locked up. with glass blowers, I feel like I'm going to be able to put another Emrakul or another Ulamog into play. Yep, we know has flash. Alright, let's get some energy. Energy. Bottom. And activate now before we draw. Yes, sir. We would love Ulamog to come into play. Cast it now or forever hold your peace. Alright, well, there's the first one. Let's get going. I liked our sideboarding there. Natural state, definitely good when we're on the draw. We want to have as quick, early active spells to just slow our opponent down. And it wasn't like, oh my god, there. It wasn't like, oh, we got rid of a ton of cultivators, caravans, and all these copters. Even just getting rid of the 3/2, just putting them off, is pretty substantial. See the difference. All right. All right. Not the most exciting hand. We're on the draw. We have our lands. We have our energy. I'm going to keep this because it's a hand that we can go turn 1, you know, we have play. Turn 2, we have a play. Turn 3, we still have the play by sacking. And it's just a good natural into Marvel. Yet again, I'm not like over the moon with this hand. I think it's just one of those hands where you just have to suck it up and you're not allowed to mulligan this kind of hand. Ooh, energy versus energy. I've been playing a decent amount of Marvel online, so I'm not at all surprised to see more people having the same opinion as me. Just attacking it a little differently, but thinking that it's a good time to bring Marvel back. It's such a good matchup versus Black-Green Delirium. I think a lot of people have figured that out. Hopefully this isn't the version of the version that I saw with what's the thing? I can't think of it. Panharmonicon. Yeah, that version. Okay, so we got Vessel. We want another forest. And we'll pass. He's threatening natural. And by natural, I mean the fastest way you can do it. Okay, well, we have it. We have liftoff. So if our opponent does not have the natural, I think we're in good shape. Because we're going to be able to spike it off. I guess even if he has it, he can play it this turn but doesn't have the energy. So that's a good thing. Okay, Tireless Tracker's fine. Totally fine with Tireless Tracker. Yeah, sure. Clue it up. Clued up. All right, now we just have to hope that there's no Ceremonious Rejections main deck. Yeah, this card here, ba-boom. All right, so energy. Could see a Marvel here. We could just see some clues getting sacked. Oh, the beatdowns, eh? The beatdowns. Yeah, I don't know what he's representing here. Just card cast the Marvel, get it out. Oh, Bristling. Okay. Maybe he's not even playing Marvel. Maybe it's the other deck. I don't know. Yeah, Bristling Hydra resolves. We'd definitely be another turn behind here, but the life gain, as you can see, is just like so crucial to allow us to even survive. All right, well, let's go. Emrakul, the Promised End. What a name, right? What a name. And somehow Somehow Lucas Blohan, he actually survived the Promised End multiple times. Pro Tour champ. Oh, look at this guy trying to do that. Choose target artifact or creature. You gain control of that. Yeah, well, we're definitely going to play that card. Because why not? Jesus, this is a massacre. We don't want that necessarily to happen. So if I play that, that's 5, technically 6. This is kind of difficult, actually. We're going to go off again next turn, so I'm not really worried about like Emrakul getting brought back to my hand. I could utilize all of the energy. I could get rid of Coop. I could play Jace and bounce. Then, yeah, I could do that. That's not really great, though. It's not really good at all, actually. Let's run the Bristling Hydra. If we do this, yeah, let's do that. Then yeah, we don't have enough, so we have to play the land. That's fine. Yeah, we're definitely going to attack with the Bristling Hydra. I'll block, kill it, sure. And I'm not as worried about that as I am, yeah, sure. You have clues that you're probably never going to be able to use. Sure. Pay 2 energy. I want to pay more than 2 energy. Sure. We're going to pay another energy. And yeah. Well, I'm going to bounce back my Emrakul. That's fine. That I will allow. I will allow it. That was an interesting turn, huh? Yeah, Jace is kind of annoying here, actually. Scry? What? It's interesting. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's kind of seriously weird play here. If we play the land and the Glass Blood, that puts us 5. I can sack it. Very similar with that. And then I can traverse next turn to do that. So the returning is not really good, I guess, but I don't really care too much about Jace. So let's just try to 187 him. Excuse me. All right, Hub, you're in action. Yeah. Doo-doo. Let's get 5. Let's bottom all of this stuff. Let's use an energy to do this again. Lots of energy. We're gonna bottom. We're gonna bottom. Then we're gonna activate. Boom. What do we have? Nothing, eh? The old nothing. Alright, well, we'll get Servant. Yeah, Servant's respectable. Give me 3 more energy. And now they're my opponent's at a point where, you know, Jace has to return Emrakul if they don't have another thing. And we're fine with that. Whoa, what is going on here? I guess he realizes that if he returns the Emrakul, the game's over. So maybe just hoping that draws to an out here. Confiscation Coup is big deal versus us. I'm very scared of that card. Yeah, I'm pretty scared of that card. I don't know if we have anything to deal with the sideboard either. We have 1 negate. Ugh. One negate. Jeez. Yeah. Well, we have a negate randomly because we're not supposed to have a negate, but we have one. And I'm hoping that that confiscation coup is like a 1 or a 2 of in my opponent's deck because boy, is it good versus us. Gearhulk's coming out. I don't really think we have too much else that we need to do here. We don't care about Tracker. We didn't see anything that the rejection would really hit. Plummet's meh. I guess Painful Truths could come in. Yeah, I don't bring Painful Truths in. Let's cut a Puzzle Knot for Painful Truths. How about that? There's our 2 sideboard slots. Man, Confiscation Coup. I played against that twice today. All right. Well, we have the 1 negate because duh, why not? I like this hand. We're gonna be able to go turn 1 Traverse and then Servant and kind of get into it again with that. So, okay. Yeah. Yeah, we got to get the island here for the negate. I want to make sure that we're not messing around. Yep, you have it. You have it. The acceleration this guy produces is just so sweet. When I saw this card, I was just like taken back by how powerful it was. It's like, man, this is some powerful stuff. Yep, servants galore. Here we go. That's a good one. We're gonna wait it out. We're gonna get the servant out there. And yeah, let's do the attune. We'll get another swamp here. Well, next turn we can't play demon, but we can play a vessel, hold up negate, and then when this guy gets ready to drop, it's gonna be great. What's going on? Bristling Hydra? Sure. I'm okay with you. You are fine. Well, they know I have it. Let's get the vessel out. And we can pass here. Our opponent's deck's very interesting. Sorry about that. Yep, combat has started and you are beating me in. Ow. Okay. What do we got going on? Alright, that's a good card. Sure. Yeah, I'm kind of hesitant to do that, but let's see what we get here. I'm gonna get a Marvel. Up schemes, huh? I have another one. Well, if I take the schemes, this is a tough one actually. Because like if I do that, I take all his mana acceleration away. So I guess that's just the play. I don't really, I could use the second demon. Let me just think of this real quick. Because next turn, I'm going to play the demon. My opponent doesn't have enough to coup and has enough energy to do that, but I'm going to have quite an army. And then the following turn, I can vessel. So I'm trying to think if the Puzzle Knot or if the second demon is just the better play here. I guess that's going to be in the graveyard, so let's get the Puzzle Knot. As weird as that sounds. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty weird to get the Puzzle Knot over the demon. But I can just get the demon back with the demon, so it's like utilizing it. My opponent's doing some stuff. Alright, well, here she goes. Boom. Let's blow some stuff up. Yeah, I don't know if they're ready for this one. But Harness Lightning will definitely will put an end to my demon. But being able to just take them off that, get some life here, and I can Vessel next turn, like, pretty strong play. Pump, that's fine. Aether Hub. Okay. Okay. Alright, that's a good sign. Yeah, I'm not blocking, so you can come on in. Water's warm. Yep. I was gonna say if I draw, this would be the perfect time. Is if I drew the Marvel here. So we got 5, 10. Let's get our land in play. 11. I have enough to grab something from the graveyard, which I'm gonna do. Oh, I can grab my demon, which will come into play, and give all other creatures the -2/-2, which is kind of cool. We can do that on his turn and keep up negate, which is great. Okay. Yeah, we'll allow him to untap here. That's fine. Bait the coup out with the negate, so use all his energy. Well, I guess he won't. He'll tap him out, so. They're not legendary, so if you weren't ready for this, it's about to get exciting. I'm pretty sure my opponent thought they were legendary. But yeah, this is going to get crazy. Boom. So you heard that right there. My opponent's reading all the cards. It comes into play tapped. Trigger on the stack. It's going to give -2/-2 to all other creatures, which I'm perfectly fine with. Doing this, and taking 4. I guess I could block and just make him use the energy. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Do it. Sure. Yeah, another energy. Yeah, there's no point, like, risking it, so to speak. All right, well, here we go. Marvelous. Click, click, boom. Boom, shaka, laka, shaka, laka, shaka, laka, shaka, boom. Yeah, we would like to cast this spell. And we would like to target... We don't care about Bristling Hydra. Why don't we target... yeah, that's the match. All right, so far we won the first 2 leagues. I'm going to step out to grab some water here and use the restroom. In the meantime, I got a sweet little video for everyone, so here you go. Boom, it's about another Marvel deck. Enjoy.
David Marshall here with our good friend Dan Ward. And Dan, you're going to show us a single card spotlight here on Consulate Surveillance. Now, this is a card that at first glance looks to me just like a fog machine.
Yeah, it's an enchantment for 4 mana that just prevents essentially 2 sources from hitting you at some point, whether through creatures or spells.
So not a very powerful fog machine on its own.
Yeah, not really. For 4 mana, preventing 2 sources, not really where you want to be normally. However, I've come up and developed a way to utilize it in an archetype that people are playing this weekend that will improve the accuracy of fundamentally playing your deck.
So you're playing an Aetherworks Marvel deck, but you're using Consulate Surveillance somehow to help you find your Aetherworks Marvel. Explain what that means.
So everyone's playing all of the puzzle knots and jamming all of the artifacts. However, I'm playing a 4-color version that centered around this card and Madcap Experiment. So,
Okay.
for those of you that don't know what Madcap Experiment is, it's a sorcery for 3 and a red that says reveal cards until you hit an artifact. Take 1 damage for each card revealed this way. However, if you have Consulate Surveillance in play, you can pay the 2 energy, and no matter how many cards you hit, whether it's 35, 50, whatever, you will get Aetherworks Marvel since it's the only artifact I'm playing in my deck.
So you're guaranteed to hit it, even if you have to go 35, 40 cards deep, you take no damage. It doesn't say loss of life, which we've seen on cards like this in the past. It says damage.
Yeah, I've had many opponents this weekend just pick this card up and read it and go, good job or well done. And so that's been kind of cool. And for those people that played Belcher, it has that kind of feel, that ad nauseum storm, Angel's Grace kind of feel.
That's kind of what it feels like to me. If you're just keep flipping through your deck till you hit the 1 card you want to find.
Yeah, and the thing I like most about this, it's good at preventing sources against some of these infect decks that are out now, but it gives you more consistency because this deck has a lot of inconsistency issues. Sometimes you'll get your 6 energy, you'll activate the Marvel, and you'll miss. Whereas if you hit this, it can give you more energy to go off the following turn, or keep you alive to be able to untap to play more energy efficient cards.
It's almost so it's an Angel's Grace ad nauseum combo. It's a dark ritual for you. It can be a fog if that's what you need against some of the green-red energy decks.
Exactly.
Now I know you talked about using this card against some of the pummeler decks. In particular, right?
Yeah, it's quite insane actually because they want to do kind of an infect strategy with Uncaged Fury. They want to pump up their pummeler, but it just stops that. Just paying the 2 energy just stops their entire game plan. They almost have to trade 1 pump spell on their creature per turn, depending on how much energy you're producing. One of the cool things I did this tournament is my opponent discarded Bloodfell Vampire, the 4/4, had no cards in hand. Trigger on the stack hit me for 2. I prevented it, and it also prevents the combat damage because it's from the source until end of turn. So that was kind of cool.
It looks like such an innocent card. A bunch of Kaladesh citizens milling about in the mall, enjoying a comfortable day, maybe a weekend, getting spied on by the consulate, sure.
Yeah.
But it seems so innocent. And Dan, you found a really fascinating way to take advantage of this card and to use it as part of a, really feels like, almost like what we would see as a card engine in a wider, older Eternal format. Really well done here. Consulate Surveillance. It's a card you want to take a look at in Kaladesh.
All right, I'm back. So that was a sweet deck that I played the Pro Tour that had Marvel I was alluding to earlier. I'm in the video. And yeah, and here we are now. Let's get another match. So far things have gone as planned. 2-0, great. I'd like to see that I'd like to play against blue-white, hopefully, and black-green Delirium. Even though Delirium's a good matchup, I kind of want to play it just to kind of go over some of the points, because it's going to be one of the decks, like, regardless if it's a Grand Prix or, I guess, regardless of where you're at, you're going to be playing a lot of that deck. This hand's like borderline. If the Evolving Wilds was the black-green fast land, I think that I would keep this. I would consider keeping it, but you're going to be a turn behind, and you have 2 Eldrazi's. This is going to be a mulligan. Okay, this hand is medium, if not worse. We have 4 lands in the deck that do not produce green, and here we have 2 of them in the opening hand. We could be a little greedy here and keep this. We were on the draw. But like I said, this is... Actually, we're on the play. So we're going to have to mull this. Yeah, this is going to be going down to 5. So far, so good with the mana, by the way. Just to give everybody, get into it a little bit more while my opponent thinks about his keep. So we have 21 lands, 3 swamps, 1 island, 5 forests. Just enough for all the ones we want to search out. And Aether Hub, the Blooming Marshes, and the Evolving Wilds. Really, I kind of picked a number at 21. I could have went to 20. I could have went to 22. But 21 kind of like was the number, blackjack, obviously. Was the number I came up with because I figured like this deck normally wants to have 25 lands. So there's like the 4 attune with Aether. You could put 25. But I think you want to leverage a little bit. So like, let's scratch 2 traverses and turn them into like just lay of the land, and then it gives us like 2 more traverses that are more of a demonic tutor late game, but then also have that flexibility. Whereas you have 5 lands in your hand's not great. But if you have 3 lands in your hand and like one of each of these, now you have some energy. Now you getting a sorcery in the graveyard. So there's a little bit more we can be doing. My opponent kept. We're gonna mull, and we're gonna mull again. Yeah, we're gonna mull again to 4. We'll keep this one. This one's not bad, and we can keep that on top. We're gonna play this because we want the land. And this is as crazy as this deck is. I can actually now turn into maybe a turn 5 Marvel. Because we're going to be able to play Evolving Wilds next turn, fetch it out, play another Evolving Wilds while playing the Puzzle Knot, and then eventually get to crack this and go for it. And this is on a mold of 4. It's pretty awesome. Our opponent has an Evolving Wilds. That's fantastic for us. That means they're not playing a turbo aggressive deck. Could be Black Green Delirium. We'll just do that and pass. No need to spew information. Grimflare, probably, yeah. Alright, well that's not great for us. But it's okay. Interesting. So I can do that. Huh. I think I'd rather just do this. Puzzle Knot and Evolving Wilds here. Because if we draw a land, I could do this and that. It's just another Grimflare. Yeah, we're gonna get another forest here because we're gonna attune next turn. What do we got? Transgress the Mind, Pilgrim's Eye, probably gonna stay in there. Delirium's 4. Got a land back, sure. Crack the land, get us for 4. That's fine. Doing pretty good. I'm glad that we're playing Black Green Delirium at least, so we could try some of the sideboard things that we talked about. The Ceremonious Rejections for the Transgress the Minds. I don't know if it's actually even worth it. It might be. Obviously gets that card, but I don't know if it's worth bringing it in. We might just be... What are we dumping in the graveyard here? Some lands? Sure. Ooh, that's pretty. Alright, let's get another swamp. Let's play the swamp. And... yeah, I think we're just going to pass. We can Vessel here. And then I think I'm going to Vessel because that'll allow us the turn to draw the Aether Hub, or we can get Aether Hub. We don't want to miss a land drop. So it allows us to play a little bit more. Because if we Vessel into a Aetherworks Marvel, like we'll still be in really good shape. 6 cards, 10. Yep. Yep. Another one, another flare. Vessel's fine. Liliana's fine too. Not really worried about that. Yep. Let's do this. We want a Vessel here. Okay, so Aether Hub is the big draw, I think. Because it gets us to 6 energy. But then again, the glass Puzzle Knot. We kind of need to get to the Marvel. So let's grab the Puzzle Knot here. Alright. If it's a land, it's fine. You know, ends up being Aether Hub. Perfectly fine. We want to do that right so that this way... yeah, I don't think Ishkana is going to do enough for us here. So we're going to just bottom and pass. This way we can use Glass Blowers again and scry 2 more times to try to get to the Marvel. We've dug pretty deep here. 45 cards. We've scryed 2 to the bottom. There's 45 cards left in the deck is what I was alluding to. So, yep, Grimflare, come and get me. And it's not like, you know... I'm assuming my opponent has some some sort of removal spells in their hand. You know, that's just kind of the nature of the beast at this point. You know, there hasn't been anything played. There's been no targets really for grasp. So, this isn't really like a big play here. I'm not like excited to be able to draw 6 land. Sure. Ishkana. Yep. Yep. All right. We're in business. Still may not be good enough, but we're going to try. Let's try to hit something good here. And of course, we get bricked. But that's okay, because at least we're going to gain some life. Yeah, Ulamog would have been great. So we've bottomed another 5 cards. So we know the bottom 7 cards of our library are not Ulamog or Emrakul, which is good. We're definitely going to be getting beat here. Yeah, that's some damage. That's going to be some damage. Considering this was a mulligan to 4 cards, you could see the power level and how good this, this deck can actually be. Yep, Grimflayer, go nuts. You have 6 card types. You can't cast Emrakul yet. Grimflayer, sure. Yeah, that's like the thing. Like, we need to get to. Well, we're gonna be able to sag both puzzle knots if we draw land. That wasn't the right land, but that's okay. All right, so we can Ulamog here, or Emrakul. If I Ulamog, I can take this down and this down. Is that enough, is the question. And if I Emrakul, what does that do? That basically means that I get free removal spells. I can kill not as much. This is a tough one here. We definitely got to think about this one. We're going to be able to go up to 7 energy, or excuse me, 7 life, 3 energy. So if I play Ulamog, I can just straight 187. If I even care about Liliana, I probably don't even care about it. Just 187 2 of the creatures. And then I don't think they have a way to deal with that. So I think I'm just going to do that. Emrakul doesn't do as much. Yeah, let's do a Ceaseless Hunger. Yeah. We don't care as much about it, and I don't think they have a removal spell to deal with this, so... Like, we're going to get attack next turn, that's fine. We're going to block Grimflayer. 6, 5. My opponent's going to use their Vessel. And they could potentially... I don't know how they get out of it, because they could steal our turn. But we don't have another Ulamog to eat the Ulamog we have. The revealed cards are in there. There's 7. So if my opponent has Emrakul, they can definitely do it, which is 7, 5, 12. Yeah, they need a land. So that's good. No Emrakul this turn. And we're going to be in a position to get them. Sure. You have a Traverse. Well, we're going to be able to go off with the Puzzle Knot. I'm pretty sure... Oh, Mindwreck Demon. Okay. Okay. I will block Grimflayer 100%. 100% blocking Grimflayer. Alright. Dead. Alright, so if I play Servant, I can do that too. Yeah, so by playing Demon here, I will get the same amount of energy as I would for the Puzzle Knot. The only difference is I won't gain a life. This is an interesting one here. So I think it's just smart. Let's just attack. I'm pretty sure my opponent has Emrakul. Like, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. So let's just do this first. Yeah, we don't care about Lily. I guess I should have attacked Lily because then it makes him block or lose Lily. But I'm not as worried about that. We're going to play Demon here. We're going to crush all his guys, get lots of energy, and then go off. Yep, energy, energy, energy. Huh. And then we got this one. Well, this is pretty terrible here, actually. We might have just lost the game. If my opponent has a removal spell, we just maybe lost the game. So that's probably, man, this is silly. This is silly. I guess we'll grab the servant. Yeah. So our best chance is that our opponent does not have a removal spell. Like, that's our best chance of winning this game. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. We could get very lucky here. Yep. Grasp of Darkness is probably going to happen. Yep, pretty unlucky. Yeah, this is super tilting, so pretty unlucky, but maybe there's something else I could have done there. All right, Painful Truths is coming in. Gosh, that's so frustrating. Man. All right, so do we want Ceremonious Rejection is the question. I really don't believe so. I think this matchup's pretty good. We don't really need to do that. Felling Tendrils, meh. Negate. Yeah, just not really into that. So let's cut the Traverse, and I think we're ready to go. Gosh, that's so frustrating. Yeah, I think if I attack I just like straight attack Liliana. We just went a little fast there. Forces him to either lose the Liliana or, you know, do that. And then it makes him have like an actual hard removal spell instead of having the Grasp. Because that's what happened, right? Yep, Grasp and Liliana. Pretty bad. So, all right. Well, that was a Mold of 4 that we should have won. Let's see if we can win this one. Oof, interesting. We're going to keep because we're just going to keep. And that's going to be that. Sure. Yeah, I'm going to go puzzle into puzzle here. We want to play this puzzle first. I'm keeping the green. We're not going to play Vessel. We're chatting with our opponent real quick here. All right, let's do it. My opponent's just letting me know that he had more removal other than the Grasp, so it makes my play still bad, but it didn't matter, I guess. My opponent's letting me know that he had all the answers, so I should let him know that he's going to need him this game. Yeah, why not? Why not, dealer? Yeah, let's do the natural. Let's go for the natural. Because if I draw another untapped land, then we just go off on it. If he has Transgress the Mind, like, we're fine. Uh-huh. Vessel. And now hub. Bottom. Bottom. We want to untap land. We've got a few in the deck. Just the last remaining 2 of these and the Evolving Wilds are the only ones that it doesn't hit. So, yeah. Apparently he had it all. He had it all. Oh. Glass blowers, puzzle knot, don't fail me now. Sure, fill the grave. Fill it up. Fill it up. How do you like them apples? Whew. Blowout City. Nice to meet you. How you doing? Get out of my game. Bang. He's just coming in just with some scythes and some swords, ready to do work. Start taking his Ishkana, but we don't have that yet. We're not there yet. Yeah, I think I just want to draw here. Perfect draw. Let's grab another swamp. Let's play it. Let's do this dance. We'll keep this on top. Like, it's not a bad hit if I don't hit one of these, which I did. So this game's pretty close. All right, now is the test of the test here. The test. So our opponent played Grimflayer turn 2, game 1, game 2. I'm assuming they're going to do it game 3, and that's like the only thing we don't want to see is Transgress or Grimflayer. We'd rather see Grimflayer than Transgress, if that makes sense. But even if they have Transgress, like, it's okay. It's just bad on turn 3 because then they're putting pressure as well. Noxious Gearhulk, get out of here. I'm wondering if we should bring in the Ceremonious Rejections. Let's bring in like 2. How about that? It still hits Emrakul. What does it have any other targets really? Like Noxious Gearhulk, they play 1. 3 Transgresses probably at this point. I just feel like it's going to be a dead card more times than not. And that's like a meh. Meh. And we're tapping out a lot. Maybe just the 1 of. The 1 of rejection. All right, we're doing it. 1 of rejection. Sold. Sold. Gross. Another one of these hands. So Evolving Wilds is great. Unfortunately, the rest of this hand is not. It's pretty slow. We're going to peel back 1. This hand's good. All right. Traverse. Let's keep it on top. We want to get as much mana as we can. Fortunately, we don't have any energy buffers here besides attune, but that's okay. We're going to attune. Let's get another forest and pass. Yeah, I'm just going to play the Evolving Wilds next turn. Transgress the Mind here would be pretty good. Grimflayer is not as bad for us. All right, deck. I guess I should have traversed there too, but Yeah, the beats are coming. We got the beats, we got the beats, we got the beats. Yeah, he's just flooring the gas pedal here, trying to get me dead as quick as possible. That's fine. Let's draw some cards. Let's discard some cards. There we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go now. Another tracker? Yeah, alright. We're taking 5 next turn. Can we survive is the question. Delirium. I think we're dead unless we draw a puzzle knot. We needed a puzzle knot? Well, that's promising. Didn't get to delirium. Okay. So, how do we win from here is the question. So we have sorceries, lands, creatures. We do not have artifacts. 3, 6, 7, 8. We've got to represent that we have something here, but he's just going to go for it anyway. So I think we're just unfortunately going to lose this game. Match, rather. So we're just going to give the GGs. There's nothing we can do from this point. So I guess we could represent something, but then I don't even know what that's doing because we can't go off with the marbles. So we'll give him the good games. And we'll concede. All right, well, we lost to our best matchup. This is a thing that happens in Magic from time to time. And that's a perfect example where we mulled a forward, didn't get to play Magic that well. And the tracker draw is real. They realize how fast they have to be. I think the Delirium decks at this point now to beat the Marvel decks, even though the Marvel decks aren't as popular. You know, they're gaining a little bit more ground. People are figuring out ways to kind of crosshair them with other styles so that this way they can still be pretty powerful but not as explosive. And that was a perfect example of like us not necessarily having as fast a start and our opponent like pretty much having their nut draw minus a transgress the mind. Like turn 2 Grimflare, turn 3 tracker, turn 4 tracker puts us pretty dead pretty quick. And as you can see with my hand too, if I was on the play, I would have been able to probably win that game. I would have been able to sequence there an Aetherworks Marvel, you know, and then pass, and then attune and play Marvel to get to 6 energy. And who knows what would have happened. We would have spun the wheel at least. Alright, well. Alright, we would love to go first. How's our hand look? Lots of stuff. Too many lands. Mull, mull, mull. Alright, not in love with this hand either, so we're getting a couple consecutive weird, wacky hands. This one's a real borderline. It's pretty slow. We don't really have great energy. Our opponent mulled a 5. I don't really like going down below this because if we get a hand that has like 1 or 2 lands, but like having these 2, it's like having 2, 3 cards we can't play, so I'm going to mulligan. And this is a reason why we mulligan. Sure, it's fine. We're going to spew it away anyway, so. Yeah, no reason to give information, even though it's probably not going to matter. They'll know what we're on very soon. Alright, Gnarlwood Dryad, the fast green-black deck, I think. I think that's what it's representing. We'll see what we get here. See if our opponent knows what we're doing. Yeah, next turn we're going to go attune into maybe traverse. We'll see. At least attune. Attune, tune. Alright, alright. Pretty good. Let's do the marsh. Excuse me. We will attune. Let's grab a swamp. We will attune. And let's grab an island. And we can pass turn. So now we're set up pretty good. We're 10 cards into our deck. We're starting to, filter out. And we're in a decent position to draw the Marvel and win, pretty much. We have a pretty good percentage. Like, if we draw that, we're in really good shape. Debating on whether or not I want to traverse. I'm probably just going to hold it in my hand. We have sorceries. And we're going to have an artifact soon. So in case I were to draw like a servant or a vessel, I want to be able to go get something big. Our opponent probably had like the double grasp of darkness, mind rack demon type of hand. Because I'm pretty sure that's the list that he's playing that plays Gnarlwood. More of the Ephro down and dirty version with Verdurous Gearhulks. So Marvel! No Marvel. Let's play the island. We'll get him sweating a little bit. No reason to really play the traverses, but you can see, like I talked about in the tutorial of the deck, they could just grab a land right now. Maybe next turn I will use one to get a land, and there's the Verdurous Gearhulk like we called. But I don't really think we need it. Yep, you get all the counters, and boom, boom, boom. Our odds on drawing the Marvel go up every card, and now we can actually play other cards. So, like this card, however. Unfortunately, we don't have Delirium. But we can block, and then next turn traverse for another Ishkana. It's probably just going to die somehow, right? Yeah. Okay. You did that, now you're going to grasp it. And then I'm going to take 9? No. Yeah, I'm fine with this. They want to get to the Delirium. Is that why they did that? Yeah, I'll take 4. Yep, this is not the worst. If we draw a land too, like I could potentially go traverse into Gearhulk to kill this. If we see what they're doing, Grimflare? Yeah, that's fine. If we do draw a land, I think I will get Gearhulk. Catacomb Sifter, sure. That's not a Gearhulk. We could get Demon of the Dark Realms. It's not terrible either. I think we're just going to go get Ishkana first and foremost. Let's bring some friends. Let's buy some time. If we get a big attack here, which is most likely going to happen, I might just take the 5 from this guy and make sure that I kill some of these other pesky things. This was a mold of 5, right? Like, yeah, this is fine. Let's go ahead and do some work here. I think we want to set that up to block this guy, this guy. I think that's what we want to do. We're going to kill these 2 cards. We're going to take 10, which isn't that great, but it's going to allow us to buy some time next turn and get another good use of Traverse to hopefully 187 Gearhulk off the Gnarlwood while gaining 5 life. Yeah, I don't know if there's like some cute interaction going to happen here where he kills his own Verdurous Gearhulk and then does something, but yeah, it's fine. You get a Scry, no worries. Pretty low. So let's do that. Let's do Vessel. And let's leave it up, because if we need to gain the 3 life, we can gain the 3 life. If not, we're going to try to Vessel into another fatty. We're up to 4 card types. We're going to get the Vessel in there. This guy for real? He means business. Alright, well. There you go. We got blossoming defenses. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Sure. We take one. Another one? Sure. That's 8. We're going to take 2. Sure. We take 2 points of damage. I have that right. Alright, let's get a marvel. No marvel. How about a forest? Forest seems good. Forest seems great. Traverse, we're up to 5. Demon's not gonna work, so I gotta get the Gear Hulk. Play this guy. And there you go. Yeah, I'd like to use the ability. So we're still not out of the woods here. If our opponent attacks with both, we're gonna block but we still need to draw something. Now the rest of the traverses are a pretty big deal. Alright, Gnarlwood. As is Vessel, Marvel, Emrakul. What do we at here? Do we have enough to do this? We have 8? Yeah, let's do that. And this is the combination that makes this deck so powerful, because it doesn't have to go as long as some of the other Marvel decks. It can just get there because you have so many Delirium things. Yep. Alright. We're going to steal this game, too, on a mold of 5. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Alright. Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to sack that because who needs it? Yeah, I forgot this had Death Touch, so pretty dumb here. I'm going to take 3 more than I should have. Not really, but... So that's a cool little thing for the video. And this goes to show you that no one's perfect, and I'm far from it, so... that was pretty dumb, but we're going to move on past that, and hopefully try to win this. Yeah, we're not blocking. You got me. Hissing Quagmire, 9. That's 8 points. Yeah. Alright. Pop the Molly. What is going on, man? I cannot get a body here. Anything. Puzzle Knot. Alright, so we're going to attack for 13. This game would be out of range. We could die to a Blossoming Defense. 3, 6, 7, 8. We're just going to do this now because it doesn't really matter. I forgot that the Gnarlwood is real annoying and has Death Touch. So we just got to fade a draw step. If we can do that, then we will be victorious. Otherwise, I will have punted yet another game. Okay. Yep. I think he drew it. You could tell by the way that he drew his cards. Yep. Sure. Weird. Guess making me earn it, so to speak. I guess this doesn't matter. What does this do? Yeah, we'll just bottom it. It doesn't do anything. We just die next turn, so... Like, I could play it and gain 6 life, but what does that do? All right, so I just want to point out before we get into the next game that it's hard to stream sometime, talk, and do this, and that happens a lot when I'm doing videos or when I'm streaming. But the biggest point that I want to make with that is don't let it affect you. You know, it stinks when you do it, whether it's you're playing online or you're playing at a Grand Prix or F&M or whatnot. Realize that there's something that you could have done differently there, and not focus and dwell on the path, the path of like, oh man, I just did this, and if I lose, I'm just gonna dwell on that. Like, just try to be a little bit better and concise the next time, so that you eventually get to a point where it happens very minimal percentage of the time. Because obviously, if I would have lost that game, I would have been pretty mad at myself just because I should just read the cards. You know, it has Death Touch. I don't want to block. It makes more sense. But moving on here. My opponent has Verdurous Gearhulk. We've got Grim Flare and Gnarlwood Dryad. It's interesting. I kind of want to bring in Flailing Tendrils, but it's like we just talked about the last match. Like, this is a very similar build, except it's a little bit faster. So I think I'm just going to cut a Puzzle Knot for a Painful Truths. Gearhulk was huge in this match. I think Demon's just as good. I could see shaving one Demon, but it cleans up Ishkana tokens really nicely. I'm assuming my opponent's playing that. I'm going to cut one Demon, and I'm going to bring the Glass Blue Puzzle Knot back. That's what we'll do. I should have the second Painful Truths for this matchup, but it's okay. Hand is good. Don't necessarily like the Ulamog, but it's fine. Alright, that's perfect. Alright, we don't need the blue. We don't have the Puzzle Knot, but I have double black already. Triple black for that. I'm going to grab the island here. We don't necessarily need it, but yeah, it's an interesting thing. Whether or not I should play the I guess it doesn't matter because I attuned. If I didn't attune, though, it would matter a lot if I traversed instead. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play... the island doesn't really make sense, so forest or that. Can hold that out. I'm going to play the Servant, give me some energy, and make my opponent have a removal spell, or I'll trade with the Grim Flare here just to... I guess because he has that, that's kind of a bad thing, but I'll make him use his mana. Blossoming Defense is a real thing here, but because I'm not like worried about playing a fast one, I don't care. I just want to slow my opponent down. That's the main concern here. You know, like Catacomb Sifter can definitely be a play. Another Grim Flare could be a play. Gnarlwood Dryad. There's a lot of options my opponent has from this point. Traverse. Okay. That's good. That's no creature. Swamp. Okay. Yep, that's fine. So we can expect Verdurous Gearhulk next turn. Demon. So let's do this. And now we're bottoming. Okay, so let me think about this. I could traverse first, which I think I should do so that I search through my deck, and then Puzzle Knot. Yeah, let's do that because we want to make sure we utilize it, and once we set our library, we don't want to keep mixing around with that. Ishkana's interesting, but we don't have anything to really do with her yet. Although I could set my library to where Ishkana kind of buys us some time. So I'm just going to bottom these cards. We played our land. We'll pass turn. And now we're at the point where we're just trying to hit a Marvel. And it'll be gravy if we can get to Demon. But I think Verdurous Gearhulk is coming. Maybe not. All right. I think my opponent might have some removal spells. Mind Rack Demon. Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with the Demon. Okay. This is fine too, because it's going to allow us to play puzzle knots, gain energy, and look at the top again. Bottom. Vessel's fine, but just bottoming here is also fine because then I'm going to be able to look at the top again. And I'm not missing land drops, which is good. There's a Gear Hulk in the grave. I don't know how many they play, but I'm going to get 6-pieced here. Maybe even more, maybe 10-pieced. 10-piece. Yeah, Verderus. All right, well, we have done a lot of looting. We need to hit a Marvel, and we need to hit it fast. So there could have been an argument to get Vessel there because it digs that a little bit deeper, but I don't think so. Speaking of digging deeper. All right, so my opponent's representing 14 on board. We're just dead, unfortunately. Because, yeah, that's 14. We can go up 3 life, and so I guess we're not, yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. Yep, we're just dead. So this is definitely a matchup where I think we miss, the Flying Tendrils isn't good enough, but I think we definitely miss having maybe a dead weight or two. Ceremonious Rejection, it hits a few things. But at the end of the day, we did a lot of looting there. The variance of the deck kind of caught up with us, so. I would love to play first and keep a decent hand. This hand seems reasonable. Yeah, this hand seems reasonable. We're going to get a green source. We're going to use the Evolving Wilds to... I guess it depends, but... Because next turn I could play Blooming Marsh and the Glass Blowers, which is what I think I want to do, actually. Do that. Alright, Ishkana. Alright, we were going to bottom. And let's top. Yeah, that's a perfect top, actually, because we can top that, go up 2 more energy, play Evolving Wilds. We want to be able to resolve the Aether Hub. Sure. Yeah. That's fine. Okay, so we can go up. We want to play that. Yeah, we're going to go up the energy. And then we're going to play the Evolving Wilds and pass. This is another one, too, where I think I just... 4... Yeah, I can just block here. And we'll see what happens. My guy might die. But that's okay. Sure. Yeah. Casualty of War right here. The Marvel. It was too good to be true. Yeah, this could be a pretty big blowout, but it's a chance I have to take. They have the defenses. Yeah. Sure. 3 cards left. I think bottom, bottom, bottom until they get to transgress again. And you could argue a point, I guess, of saying that if I had Ceremonious Rejection here, maybe we could have played Aether Hub and played a little slower game, took the damage, and then just got the resolve the Marvel, but Distended Mindbender and a Servant. So there must be another good card on top, I would assume. Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, so Transgress will take the Graph Widow here. I'm just going to pass turn because doing the Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot really doesn't do anything. Whereas, like, getting 2 cards deeper into my deck, 3 cards actually because I'm going to draw 1, is kind of a big deal. Yep. I'm not blocking. Do 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 do. Distended Mindbender. Smuggler's Copter. Ooh. All right, so maybe there was more hits than I forgot about the 4 copters. So maybe either Ceremony's Rejection wasn't the worst thing, especially on the play. The next opportunity I have to play that card, I'm just gonna play that card. Gotta give it a shot. Yeah, see, I knew that he tapped to Transgress. Graph Widow's gone. That's fine. We're going to do this now. And for this one, I will take Vessel if it's there. No, we're going to bottom. Well. Yeah, this is part of the frustrating. This is one of the frustrating parts of playing a deck like this because you're kind of at the mercy of the draw, and yep, beatdowns. The beatdowns continue, and you know I know what I signed up for with this deck, so we've got a lot of live draws. You know, Vessel will be super live. Marvel will steal the game for sure. 2 Transgresses. Where's our next Marvel? Alright, let's get some life. Alright, deck. Deck, please. I have 2 of you. Even an Ishkana here would be great. You know, missing land drops is not good. Here comes the Gear Hulk. Yep, that's going to put us down to 8. We're dead in 2 turns. We have a turn to draw Marvel. Okay. Yeah, we could have easily won one of the other matches, but yeah, this is going to be a beating. Well, I think maybe there's an argument to just bring Ceremonious Rejection in because the only way that they can race this deck is with a Transgress. And I think that may be something that I need to test out on the next time I play against Black-Green. And just hopefully I have it. Well, we're alive. Not for long. Yep, we don't have Delirium. How tilting. Another Gear Hulk? Boom, Kalidas. Yeah, now at this point, I don't think I can survive regardless. I'm going to go to 4. Gets that. I guess I could Ulamog off these 2 and then block. That's my best line, but then we get attacked by the Quagmire. We might as well see if we get it, but it doesn't look promising. Man, started 2-0. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the top, and now we're here. All right, well, that's gonna do it for that match. All right, let's get in the last one. That's pretty frustrating. We've lost to 2 Black-Green Delirium decks, and it's supposed to be like the best matchup, but that just, like I said, goes to show you like how sometimes you're gonna lose those 30%ers, and also we still need to make a couple tweaks with the sideboard, and maybe I'm supposed to be bringing in those rejections and playing that kind of game, and I haven't decided that yet. I think a lot can go into the fact that the disruption really hurt us, and then unfortunately I just haven't been able to draw like remotely even decent. This hand's fine. And then I guess to go along with that as well, you'd see how many mulls to 5 we've had in that last match. So yeah, we're gonna get a blue here. We're gonna get Puzzle Knot, Crack-a-Lackin'. Yeah. Let's get the blue. Perfect. Yeah, next turn we'll be able to do double Puzzle Knot. That'll be awesome. Set up a turn. Well, we could play it next turn if we have it. Are we playing another Marvel deck? Jeez. Marvelous. Alright, well. Let's do what we do. Let's traverse for another... Do we need a green... Let's get a green source at this, right? Let's play green, and let's do this. Hiya. Yep, we don't want that. Then next turn I can go doot, and we don't have an artifact in there yet, so I could sacrifice it for 2 turns if we drew another land. Our opponent wanted to prevent us from going off. The vessel, okay. Attune, strike up the band. Yeah, this is, I think, the red-green Aetherworks Marvel deck that I haven't played against that much. Alright. Well, first things first. Let's do this. Let's bottom. And let's... Do we want to top that? I'm just going to bottom it. I don't really care too much about it. Yeah, my opponent doesn't have any energy, I don't think, right? Yeah, no energy. It's a Titan energy. No energy. I'm not blocking. Yep, we're not blocking. Well, dang. Can we... We're just going to keep fishing here. Puzzle. Yeah, this is pretty tilting. He's going to go off before we can go off. That's not fair. I use the word tilting a lot, by the way. All right, what are we getting here? What are you doing? Oh, this guy's got one of those things that I was reading about on Twitter. He's got an icon that doesn't show his energy count. This is a Moto glitch, so I cannot actually look at how much energy they have. Which is kind of, I don't want to say cheating, but kind of just bad for the game. Bad for the game. Sure. Yeah, nice. 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 Well, I could play that, except I can't play that. Well, how many bottoms do I have to hit here? This is crazy. Can we get to a Marvel? We're digging. We are digging. One card left in my opponent's... Well, that's something. So... This could be another Marvel coming next turn because they have enough for World Breaker. Ishkana probably doesn't do enough if I just play it. I could just bottom until we get somewhere. And at that rate, there's going to be like Nahiri I have to deal with as well. Yeah, sure. We're just going to look at the top 4 cards at the end of turn and just hopefully that's enough to do something. This really bothers me though that like the program doesn't, you know, there's glitches here so that they don't show the energy count. It's really like cheating by not having full information. Like if this person, I don't know them, if they, did that on purpose, that's really shady. But, unfortunately, yeah, it's Moto. It's what we got to deal with. Maybe they don't know, so, I don't want to cast blame on them because they could honestly just have no idea. And, that stinks, but the good news is we will get to test out our ceremonious rejections. Alright, if I don't get it here, then this is ridiculous. Come on. Yep, they're exiled. See ya later. Yeah, I asked my opponent if they use this avatar on purpose. Yeah. They're not going to respond because I'm pretty sure I'd say there's a good high percentage that they are. Alright, negates. The rejections are coming in. Failing tendrils, no. We don't need plummet. Natural state, I don't have a purpose for either. Don't care about that. So what do we don't care about the Gear Hulks. Ishkanaz or nothing. We don't need y'all to do any work. We can cut a glass blowers, I think. Kind of want to bring in painful truths too. I'm going to bring it in. Demon of the Dark Scheme seems fine because they're going to mill stuff and we can steal it as well. So let's cut a traverse. All right, we're ready to go. Unfortunately, in this league, we played some black-green decks, which was great. We didn't get to play a white-blue deck, which I'm a little sad about. So, but it is what it is. Definitely going to keep this hand. Evolving Wilds for an island, Blooming Marsh into Glass Blowers, and you know the rest. Evolving Wilds. Evolving Wilds Wars. Oh, put it on the stack. Let's get the island. What are we getting? Probably a forest. Yeah, this could be great. Ceremonious rejection. No, no, no. Yeah, we want lands. We want lands. There's a Marvel there too. I won't be upset, but we definitely want to get to at least one more land. All right, well, that is a good one. So, okay, so I could just do that. I think let's just play the puzzle knot here. Let's see what we got. Another Blooming Marsh, which is good because we can... Yeah, I actually like this a lot. So what I can do is I can put this on top. Let's put let's put that on top, and then that on top. So next turn, I can play the green puzzle knot, play the land, have Ceremonious Rejection up. Then the following turn, play Evolving Wilds and this puzzle knot and still have Ceremonious Rejection up. Yeah, I want to keep as many rejections as we possibly can. You know, Nahiri's a pain in the butt, but I don't think we really have to focus too much on Nahiri, so. Dun dun dun. The servant. Come on. Ooh, cathartic. Alright. Got rid of a Ulamog and a Harness Lightning. Sure. We know the card on top, so we don't need to look at that. And we'll pass. Next turn, we get to play Evolving Wilds, fetch out, Glass Blowers, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, if there's something that I can utilize the Ceremonious Rejection for, I'll definitely do it, but I don't think we care about this. And we're not just going to spew through one, so let's do that. We need one more black? Sure. Who knows? We might actually get to ours. Let's put Vessel on top, and excuse me, Aether Hub on top and Vessel on the bottom. If they go for it, I have Ceremonious next turn. I can draw through Painful Truths and then still have Ceremonious Rejection up. The card that we don't want to see here is Nihiri. It'll really do some work on us. But regardless of that, we're going to be Painful Truthing next turn. And it's also a card that I think is really strong in the mirror matches. You know, Harness Lightning, for the red versions, it's cool because they have some kind of interaction. But a lot of times you don't net energy there. It's just like preventing your opponent from doing stuff. So, yep, of course. Why would they not have Nahiri? Yeah, so we'll get another one of these, and we'll pass turn. Not much we can do about this, so. Tireless Tracker, yep. That kind of turns into more of a mid-range. Sure. Yep. Do, 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 do. Marvel. Pretty awesome. Alright, no Marvel. No problem. Are we going to ult is the question. Sure. Okay. Yeah, I could get like Ulamog and mill 20 off my deck or Emrakul and do some work, but I don't know if that's worth it. Yep, I had it the whole time. No surprises here. This will put an instant in my graveyard. There'll be an artifact in my graveyard. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Won't be too short. My opponent looks surprised. He played around it the whole game. See, now it's showing the energy. It's weird. Uh-huh. I think that's what my opponent's thinking too. Like, what do I get from this point? Do I get Emrakul? Does he just, you know, untap and then kill me? I don't know. Sure. You've got it. Yeah. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, these last two matches too specifically speak to the variance level in this deck. I just want to touch on that while he's searching. With the puzzle knots, you can only go so hard, and then you have a lot of shuffle effects, so sometimes it resets, and it's a little unfortunate, but it's the way it goes. Yep. Aetherworks Marvel. Oh, there's one left, so let's not be bad at this. Huh. Yeah. No. Let's do that. Yeah, I'll block. I will block. Yeah, there's no creature in my graveyard. I'll block, untap, play Emrakul. Let's go. Okay, so apparently my opponent said it was the same thing for him with the energy as well. So that's kind of a weird thing that's what's going on with it. Yep, you've got clues. You've got clues, you've got clues, you've got clues. Baby, you got clues. All right, well, Harness kills us here. Watch, I guarantee too, if we would have bottomed the demon, watch the top card. Watch the top card be, let's draw one. No, it was demon too. All right, so unfortunately we started 2-0, and then we lost 3 rounds in a row, twice to Green-Black Delirium, and once to a Marvel Mirror. And we actually beat a Marvel deck too, so we played 2 different variations of Marvel decks. A decent representation of this deck, I feel. Obviously, the record didn't reflect the power level that the deck does produce. As you noticed in the last 3 rounds, we were pretty inconsistent with our Scries and Marvel. Once we got Marvel into play, it was very hard for us to lose any game. However, getting to that point is definitely something that the deck has consistency issues with. So I don't think particularly I drew well, obviously noted by the fact that there is an L instead of a W next to the record on the match 3, 4, and 5. However, I think for the next Black-Green Deliriums, I'm going to bring in the Ceremonious Rejections and test that. And I would advise, mixing a few things around in the sideboard. I mainly dedicated a lot of plummets and some other cards due to blue-white. It's a matchup that I feel is not as good as it should be. And so, depending on your local metagame, if this is something you're interested in, you want to try a Marvel deck or a Delirium deck that kind of folds into each other. I do think this deck is good, and I'm looking forward to testing it some more. So that's this week, the 2nd week in November. That's gonna be it for the league. Hopefully you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you next week. Maybe I'll be playing the same thing, or we'll switch it up again. Till next time, come join us at our website, kerwinsgamestore.com, and take a look at our stream, which we do Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, with the weekly ward on Wednesday, and just normal streaming on Tuesday and Thursday. So take care. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
People of Kaladesh, whether you hail from distant fields or greenbelt towns or from our great city centers, this is your time. The Kaladesh Inventors Fair invites you, our best and brightest, to share your ingenuity with the world. As an official entrant, you may fuel your creativity with unrestricted ether access. Demonstrate that you can channel the ether into bold new creations. Showcase your ideas. your inventions, your genius. In this time when anything is buildable, you can invent your tomorrow